So this is my friend Malorie Avaline. I've known her for 10 years. I've just gotten the opportunity to watch her grow into the incredible woman that she is. She is an entrepreneur and she flips houses, salon stylist. She travels and gets to style all these really cool people. Yeah, is there anything that you want to add to that introduction?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's great. I do a lot. But it's ever evolving. There's not one of those things that defines me, but they all play into who I am and what I do.
I know that you have been through a lot of things, as most people have that are resilient, incredible people.
Yeah.
Why don't you kind of give us some context, some background of kind of what brought you here?
I grew up in a pretty bad neighborhood. It was definitely a low-income neighborhood. My dad was the quintessential used car salesman. Always tried to save a buck, and so actually plucked us out of a pretty decent neighborhood and moved us into the ghetto. And so I grew up in a crime-ridden neighborhood and started seeing drugs at a really early age. I mean, 10, 11 years old. My next door neighbor shot and killed 3 people the first year that we lived in our house. Didn't go to a great school, you know, grew up in a school where there was some gang activity, always causing trouble. And so just being in that environment, I think, had a huge impact on me. Myself, I started smoking pot when I was 14 and was actually raped at 15. Didn't have any kind of self-love at that point. That changed my perspective on things for a really long time.
Obviously that would have some impact and kind of change the course of some things that happen,
I think it had a bigger impact on me than I realized at the time. I don't know, it just kind of changed my outlook on relationships for many, many years to come. I just had a wall up.
That trauma that we build up, it kind of affects us into our adult years, for sure.
Oh yeah.
What about the time that you were in your 20s? What point, where were you at in your life?
23 was probably a low point. I was addicted to meth. People look at me and they're like, you, but you know, you have all your teeth, or you don't have bad skin. I took care of myself. I was still presentable.
It just shows we don't know what people are going through. I mean,
no, you have no idea. Because that's the thing. I cared about people's perception of me, so I didn't allow people to see that darkness. And so I was in a very abusive marriage at the time.
Right.
And addicted to drugs. I think it was at 23 that I had enough of myself. And I sat down one night and I had been up for 4 days straight at that point.
Oh my God.
And I wrote a letter to myself, and I still have it today. And it literally says, this letter is to God and myself, and I want to be a better person.
That is incredible, I mean, in itself, but also because it relates to what I want to ask you, Malorie. So at 23, you're writing, you know, to yourself and to God. Hey, let's just set the scenario. So now at 35, for some reason, you get to go back in time, or younger you, in the midst of almost becoming addicted to meth or ecstasy and this lifestyle. You, super successful, super put together, completely owning yourself. You get a chance to meet that younger you and connect with younger you. And you could go back and have this sit-down conversation with you at 23, girl, we need to talk. What do you say?
Wow. There's a lot I would say. I think
a
it would go
letter to yourself.
before that, because 23 was the moment I got real with myself. 19 is when I was introduced to meth for the first time. Right. But at 18, I was eating ecstasy and doing cocaine. I think I would tell her the true importance of self-love.
Right.
And not seeking validation through other people. What I thought was this perceived thing that I was supposed to become, I let it create this unimaginable sense of failure in my mind.
Right.
And if I could go back and teach me the kind of self-love that I have now, I don't think I would have self-sabotaged.
Would she believe her eyes if she saw where you are now?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not kidding. If it were not by the grace of God, I think I would be in jail or dead.
That's amazing.
At the rate I was going and the things that I was doing and the damage I was causing myself and the people around me. I mean, by the grace of God, I'm here today.
I'm so happy that we're having this conversation. You're on the other side of things. Do you think that she would 19-year-old you would need kind of like a hug from you and to know that, hey, it's all going to be okay?
It's hard to say I wish my parents would have been X, Y, or Z for me. Because maybe it's not a parent, and maybe some people out there don't have two parents. Find someone you can trust and lean into, and that will advocate for you when you can't advocate for yourself.
Oh my God. Yeah, I love that.
Because I felt like I had no one. I felt so lonely. My parents were separated again. You know, both of them did drugs or drank at different points. And so it's like, how would they tell me that I was doing something wrong when they were living what I was doing? I did have some of those people. In fact, I still have one today that is a mentor of mine. She was my dance teacher growing up, and we're still very close. And she had a major impact on my life. And she was tough on me.
Right.
But sometimes I think people need to be real tough. But I think I would tell me to find someone. That's why I think mentorship is so important, and locking arms with someone that is going to be your ally and is going to fight for you and go to bat for you when you're not strong enough to do it for yourself.
Do you mind if we do a quick exercise where you jot down like a few paragraphs that you would say to yourself at 19 years old, and then you could just kind of like read it, whatever you wanted to say on camera?
Yeah, for sure.
We're going to do that exercise.
We're going to do it.
If you're comfortable, Mallory, why don't you read us the letter that you would say to your younger self?
Mallory, beautiful girl, you are worthy of love and success. You are smart. Be smart like you, not smart like the masses expect you to be. Know that everyone else is also walking around with insecurities. We all have them. Your parents love you, and they are doing the best that they know how to do. Show them some grace. You are capable of deep, amazing friendships. But first, you must love yourself and be a friend to you. Do not build walls after you feel hurt and pain. Instead, forgive yourselves and forgive those who hurt you. Know that people not seeing your value does not make you any less valuable. Hold yourself, mind, body, and soul sacred. Protect your confidence and encourage others to do the same. Don't settle for anything that doesn't set your soul on fire. Don't do drugs. And I don't mean in the cheesy, dress up for school, red ribbon kind of way. I mean, don't waste time destroying your mind and your body. Practice loving your body instead. It will serve you well the rest of your life.
I love that. That realness, is definitely, I think, what young women, men too, kind of need to hear. With this knowledge that you have now of all the very, eclectic, intense experiences that you've went through. Now you can almost like pour it into your children or other youth or other people that you mentor, so you can kind of reach this little girl through other people. That's so cool. So also, we did a YouTube video on Mallory's channel, and I will drop the link below for that. So thank you so much for sharing and sharing your heart. Like, I appreciate that. So,
absolutely.
Yay, Mallory.
Thank you for tapping into your purpose and truth.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yeah. Bye.